Hey everybody, American Jedi here, taking off, going to Cincinnati. Got the Polestar ready to go. 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're heading out. Hey everyone, American Jedi here. Just plotted in the Cincinnati course. Got a range of 250, saying 98% battery because I drove from my house over here to the Wawa. Make a stop, got some ice, checked my tire pressures, all green. And now I plugged in Cincinnati, saying I've got about 8 stops. Last stop in Louisville, looks like. Louisville is how you say it in Kentucky, not Louisville. And looking like we got about a 20 and a half hour trip. My first stop is 2 hours and 3 minutes. At an Electrify America charging station. We'll see how that goes. And man, it's a long drive. All right, we'll get back to it, and we'll get on here once we get on the road. All right, take care. This is what happens when you leave 2 hours, 2.5 hours too late. This is what you get. But luckily, I got an alternate route that's gonna save me some time. So we got that going for us. I spied 3 Teslas, 2 Ys, and 1 Model 3. And why is this? What's it doing here? Okay, it's trying to upload videos. There's no Wi-Fi out here, fool. But anyways, I'm a little concerned. My range there, it says 11% that I'm going to be arriving with 11% battery. When I first inputted it in, before I got on the highway, it said 20%. Now, I'm guessing that Google Maps is like learning, it just went up to 12. I'm guessing that Google Maps is learning that, you know, my speed, I guess I'm driving 75. It originally said 20, now it's up to 12. It was up to 14%, and then it dropped down to 14%, and then it dropped down to 11%. So I'm like, you know. But I've watched other videos out there of people driving, one guy in particular driving in his Polestar too. He did a 4,000 mile trip, and his was pretty accurate. So I actually, as I've driven around Tampa, mine's been like 100% accurate. Usually plus 1%. It'll say I'll get there like, you know, 20%. I'll get there usually around 21% or so. So this is saying 12% now. We'll see what we actually get there at. 10% is my comfort zone. So if anything less than that, and I'm gonna start to panic a little bit. But getting into, you know, medium traffic here. So, you know, we'll see what happens. All right, pulling up to our first chargers here. I was a little worried because I didn't see them at first. We were rolling in at 17%, originally estimated at 20. We've got the chargers here. Pulling up on them. First stop. And this is on Highway 90. I think it's called Live Oaks, Florida. Not sure what we got here, but we shall check it out. All right, here we are in Lake City, Florida. First stop from Tampa, and we are charging the Polestar. And this is FPL, which I'm guessing is Florida Power and Light. Evolution. I haven't seen these before. Must be something that FPL's installing. Station's very quiet. It's got a CHAdeMO and a CCS. You can see this is Lake City 1061 with their phone number kind of ghetto-y written on the side instead of a sticker. Had to download an app, FPL Evolution app, and the first 30 minutes is free. It's set by this Florida Department of Transportation, and it's 40 cents a kilowatt hour. There's no membership or anything, and you can see we're charging up right now. Looks like at 153 kilowatts. Let's look inside the car and see what we're getting. I don't trust the machine because my car can only take 150, so 153 seems like a lot. But let's see. Oh, Apparently we are getting 153. Yeah, so this is going to be about a 30-minute stop, get charged back up to reach the next charging station, which should be in, let's see, what is the next charging station, Google? What's the next stop? The next stop is in Cordell, Georgia, about a 2-hour drive. It says to charge to at least 82% is what my Google Maps is telling me. So charge to at least 82%, and the next charging stop is the Electrify America charging station in Cordell, Georgia. So yeah, first part of the drive was pretty good. I'm excited that these FPL chargers are here. Nice little stop. I'm glad I didn't have to stop in Gainesville, because I heard that the Gainesville chargers can get pretty busy. So this is nice. There's no one here, you know. Maybe not so many people know about these yet. Google knows about it. But as you can see, there's a Burger King across the street, Chick-fil-A. I think I might go over to Chick-fil-A, have me a little breakfast. And yeah, well, this is charging. All right, well, gonna go eat some Chick-fil-A. The Florida flag and the U.S. flag going on. Just finished breakfast at Chick-fil-A. Well, lunch, I guess. Walking back across, the car's been charging for about 30 minutes. It's already back up to 80%, so it's actually waiting on me. I took my time, you know, used the bathroom a couple times. Ate my chicken sandwich and fries on my second Coke already, so you know, doing big things. We're heading on back. Hey everybody, here we are in Georgia. Crossed the border about an hour ago. Forgot to get the sign. Sorry, I won't do that for Tennessee. I will get the sign. Got to get the state sign, but I also like to refer as Georgia as the land of billboards. Look at all these billboards, man. Come on, man. Got to have your billboard informations. Did Jesus really come back to life? People wrote down what they saw. Dared to investigate. Lots of billboards. North Georgia Mountain Land. 10,000 off all lots. There you go. Harley Davidson, boy. Yeah, so lots of billboards. We're in Georgia. Trip's going well. Next stop is in 59 miles. Cordell, Georgia. We'll be at 17%. We are currently at 45% right now with a 110-mile range. 75 the whole way. Well, 74. For some reason, my car likes to go 1 mile under no matter what I set it. If I set it 80, it likes to go 79. If I set it at 76, it likes to go 75. So, I don't know. Weird, but having fun. Was getting a little tired there, but I stopped over at Wendy's and initiating charging, 29 cents a minute. I got the Electrify America Pass Plus, and we're all plugged in. Oh my god, I almost just fell. Let's see if it started charging yet. Saying thank you for choosing Electrify America. All right, current charging speed 146. We're at 18%, and we are charging. And the big, where all the work's done, back behind this fence here. So these cabinets can be nice and quiet. We are ramping up. We're up to 147. We are in Cordell, Georgia. at the Walmart. I wish they would place these like kind of up more front, because when you're here late at night, this is kind of a shady kind of deal. That's why I left when I did, so I didn't have to be stuck in a Walmart parking lot at 2 in the morning. Now, if they were still 24 hours, that'd be one thing, but they close at like 11 o'clock now, so. But yeah, we're charging. Figure we'll be here for about 30 minutes. Okay, so while I'm here, I wanted to, I'm on about 77%. I got about 3% to go. And we're pulling in 55 kilowatts now. I just wanted to show you what Google Maps does in the Polestar anyways, on this Android operating system. How it tells you. So it says basically, came up here, welcome to electrified charging station in Cordell, Georgia. Tells me charge to at least 77%, which I'm at right now. And then it says next stop, charge point, Metropolitan Parkway, Atlanta, Georgia. That'll take you 2 hours and 12 minutes, 138 miles. You'll be at 10% when you get there. So I just wanted to kind of show you how cool the operating software was. I'm sure Tesla does something very similar. Never road trip with a Tesla, but I'm sure it's, you know, probably identical. But yeah, I figure, you know, for me, I like to charge up to 80% anyways, because it doesn't take that long. Some people will charge up to only like 60% or just enough to get them to the next station. I figure I'd charge up to 80, and then maybe I can skip a station or two. You know, I did the plug share route thing, and I'll pull that up for you. Let's see here. So the plug share route actually had me stopping a few different places. So it actually had me stopping once in Florida and then 3 times in Georgia. Looks like I'm only going to have to stop twice in Georgia because I skipped Valdosta, the second blue dot, because I was able to skip Gainesville and charge at Lake City, which was north of Gainesville. And so now I only have to stop 2 stops in Georgia, which is here in Cordell, and then once in Atlanta, and then I'll be in Tennessee. So I skipped the charger. That was nice. Just, you know, I left the house at 100%. So, but I do recommend, like, for this next station, I checked the PlugShare app. I typed in this address in the PlugShare app, that 2244 Metropolitan Parkway, just to check the status of the chargers, to make sure, like, you know, and the PlugShare app told me one's broken. So, you know, at least I have a little information going into it, and make sure that everything's up to par. You want to check the ratings out of 10. You know, usually there's like it'll show you a green if it's got good ratings, because PlugShare actually wanted me to stop at a Walmart in Atlanta, and Google Maps wants me to stop at this charge point charging station instead. So I just checked it, and this is actually closer than the Walmart in Atlanta. So I'm just going to stop there and charge up there, you know, get there a little quicker. And yeah, so anyways, just little tips of the trade. You know, make sure you have that PlugShare app loaded up, and check your next charging station's chargers, and make sure everything's kosher. All right, take care until next time. Well, it'll be next time, because all these clips are going to be stitched together anyway, so it's going to be fluid, but I don't know why I keep signing off. All right, we'll see you in a minute. So that's what the charging curve is, and to write it means when you go to each charging station, you're going to charge only for the amount of time that you are getting the fastest speeds. So technically, I probably would have charged until 70% or so, and then got off and then went to the next charger. And you're going to find that you're going to be quicker if you don't charge beyond that 80% and hit that next tier of slower charging. Like if you were to charge to 90 or even 100%, because it takes forever to get from, like, in my car anyways, I think it takes about 45 minutes to an hour just to get from 90 to 100%. So if you just stop at 80 or 70 or whatever, and then you go to the next destination as far as you can to the next stop, charge again, you're going to find that your road trips are going to be a lot faster that way. So just to, you know, give you a little information on that. And yeah, so ride that charging curve, folks. Let's get back to these billboards, shall we? Oh, wait a minute, no billboards? Am I still in Georgia? Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Come on now, don't let me down, Georgia. I want to see some billboards. No, there's no billboards for a while. Look at that. Wow. all I got are blue skies. It's reminding me of Florida. Still in Georgia. Just wanted to show these nice, kind of nice rolling hills, trees. I've been primarily rolling with just my windows cracked. It's nice 81 degrees out, or 80 degrees out here in just south of Atlanta by about 50 miles. Just cracked the windows, no climate on. I don't know if I'm getting better or worse range by having the windows cracked and letting the wind in as opposed to having the AC on, but I'm enjoying it. No rush, enjoying my time. Just following good old FedEx here, delivering some packages. You know how we do. All right, this one was kind of tricky. Mannheim, Atlanta Reconditioning Services, and it's saying charge point charging station, but it's back over here in the corner. This is some weird shit, yeah. Hopefully they got bathrooms or something. Just looks like it's for fleet, but they all say available, so let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm not too convinced. Everybody looking at me weird. All right, let's see what happens. All right, we arrived here with 19%. Seems like this charge point's working. Just kind of worried about it because this is not a Walmart or really a facility that I think you're technically supposed to charge at, but yeah, it seems like a fleet for Amazon and other fleet vehicles. It looks like an electric van right there, and it seems like these are their charging stations, but I guess it's open to the public. Not sure I would recommend it, just because there's really, I don't know, I'm going to go in here and see if they'll let me use the bathroom, but yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Kind of an awkward charging station. Not a Walmart or a Target or whatever. Just kind of out here in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know. It's the one that my car told me to take. My car told me to take the charge at. So, anyways, let's see what kind of speeds we're getting. We should be ramped up here. Hopefully, we're getting 150. Nope, we were getting like 80. Damn it. We're only getting like 80. Well, I might try and see if I can find another charger in Atlanta. Maybe go to the one that's that PlugShare recommended and head to that one. I've got about a 55-mile range, so we'll see what happens. All right, so I just checked the PlugShare app. The Walmart that it wanted me to stop at is about 30 minutes down the road, about 20 miles down the road. I've got more than enough mileage and energy to get there. Since I'm only charging at 80 kilowatts an hour here, I'm going to go ahead and stop charging, and I'm going to head down to Walmart. I think it'll be a little faster to just hit up the Walmart, get my 150 kilowatt speed, charge up to 80%, and then hit the road again. So it kind of sucks because this was like a 5 to 10 minute detour off the highway, so I lost that time. Probably lost about 20 minutes by getting off the highway to come to this stop. But now I know for next time, you know, when I'm taking this trip again, skip this one because it's only going to charge at 80 kilowatts. For those of you that have a Leaf or a vehicle that uses CHAdeMO, it does have a CHAdeMO charger though. So this is right outside Atlanta, Georgia, and you know, they do have bathrooms, but I don't know how late they're open till. So if you come here in the middle of the night, you might be peeing in the grass. All right, this, my friends, is what happens when you don't plan your trip right around Atlanta traffic. It is now almost 4 o'clock. I'm about 29 miles south of Atlanta, and once I get through this 18 minutes of traffic, I'm going to hit traffic again in Atlanta, so that's going to be fun. Rush hour in Atlanta, that'll be spastastic. That's what I get for getting more sleep and waking up 2 hours late. Drats. Well, let's take this time to talk about electric cars and politics a little bit. Nothing too crazy, don't worry. I'm not going to let you know my politics, but in terms of regulation, I lean more towards, you know, green regulation, solar panels, alternative energy, you know, windmills, whatever. And I kind of, you know, I am from California originally, San Diego. That's where I was born and raised till I was 16. And I do like that they are banning banning the sale of gas-powered vehicles. I think, what was it, by 2030 or 2035, something like that. And you know, I'm all aboard that. I think that should be a nationwide thing. The future is electric vehicles, in my belief. And I think the more pressure that we put on car manufacturers to move us off of, you know, fossil fuels, I think the better, because that'll just, you know, propel the technology forward. That'll get, you know, car manufacturers more behind creating more efficient, faster charging, better electric vehicles. And that'll push the network makers into building faster and more reliable networks, like Electrify America, EVgo, ChargePoint. So I think that's a good thing, that, you know, we need to pass these regulations to promote the electric vehicle movement and the movement of going towards more greener energy and more sustainable energy for, you know, I don't even have children. So, like, you know, my attitude should be like, well, I don't give a shit what happens to this place after I die, you know? But we need to. You know, we need to be worried about our future generations and the global climate that's going to be around for our children and our children's children, you know? The children of humanity, should I say, because I don't have no children. But, you know, we need to be worried about that. And the faster we get on sustainable energy, zero emission vehicles, the better, whether it's hydrogen or electric. We just need to move towards that direction. So I'm all about regulations, you know, banning sales of gas-powered cars. Now, I think there should be like an exemption, maybe like 1 or 2 per family or something, or one, you know, for collectors. Maybe you got to pay a tax or something like that if you want to, like, have an old muscle car in your garage and that you drive on the weekends or something. But for the most part, I think, you know, everyone should be driving electric. And I realize right now, like, you know, unless you want a Chevy Bolt, I mean, heck, those are even, what, 25 grand right now. People don't want to spend more than $30,000. The average American doesn't want to spend more than $30,000 on a car, and a lot of Americans can't afford even that. So, you know, we need to get the prices of these cars down. Need to get a nice secondary used market going, and to where more people can afford electric vehicles. You know, I've seen some old Nissan Leafs actually going for pretty reasonable rates, you know, under $10,000 for like a 2013 Nissan Leaf and stuff like that. And heck, if you only need to get around, you know, probably the battery degradations got it down to, let's see, like a 2013 Leaf. Mine brand new was getting about 90 miles max. So you'd probably get like, what, maybe 50, 60 miles max, which would be enough to commute and maybe get a few errands done and plug in when you get home. That's not bad, you know, especially if you're talking under 10 grand. And of course, the express lane's closed. Why would it be open? Why would the express lane be open right now? Jeez. Anyways, yeah, so those are my 2 cents on regulations. And I think the government should definitely put up more incentives. This thing that Biden did where he made it more, I understand that he wants to have things built in America and things like that, but we're going backwards on that. This is now a global economy, and I understand that it looks good to like say, oh, look, you know, we don't want anything that's made in China and blah, 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 because China's like our economic enemy. But let's get over that, please. Let's get over this us versus you, we versus they shit. You know, humanity has come too far for this garbage. You know, I understand China's not, you know, totally 100% innocent either, but this is a global economy, and our governments should be doing more incentives to get people in electric cars. Like the incentive now, this is April 2023, to get an electric vehicle. It's got to be like whatever, mostly made in America, and the battery has blah blah blah, and this has to happen, and it has to be under a certain price, and you can only make so much. I mean, all these restrictions. And then it's a tax credit, so for those that don't pay $7,500 in taxes, they're not getting anything. Like if you get a tax refund and you typically don't owe taxes, that $7,500 tax credit's not going to help you. You're not going to get a check for $7,500 in the mail, you know? So it's kind of ridiculous. I think the government should just pass, look, we're going to take so much money, depending on the price of the car, so much money right off the top, right at the point of sale. And the government's going to cover it or whatever, you know, or we're going to mandate, we're going to pass a law that, you know, so much comes off at the price of sale or whatever, you know, whatever we need to do. And if they want to be like, oh, well, if, you know, if you buy an American car, then you'll get more off at the point of sale. But if you're buying non-American, then you'll get, you know, this much or something. Give us something, you know, because, and then some people will argue, well, if you're not paying, you know, $7,500 in taxes, you may not have business buying a Tesla. No, don't give me that. Because you know what? People prioritize their money differently. Maybe somebody wants, you know, to not prioritize living in a nice house and would prefer to have a nice car. Or maybe somebody doesn't drink, and so they instead spend that money on a nice vehicle every month. I mean, I'm not here to tell anybody how to spend their money. And, you know, that tax credit I think is garbage because most Americans don't pay taxes, especially $7,500 in taxes. So anyways, just my 2 cents. Let me sweat it out in this traffic, I guess, and we'll see 14 more minutes and 39 minutes till my next charger. So yay. All right. Let's turn that down. Yeah, so I tried to go to that Walmart, but it was the opposite direction, and I didn't figure that out until I was back on the highway. I was going the right way on the highway on north, but my navigation was like, hey, get off and turn around, idiot. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want to go south, so I want to go north. So I figured out that I had already passed that Walmart, and yeah, so I already passed that Walmart. It's making me, it was trying to make me go south. So so I plugged Cincinnati back into my GPS. I should have just stayed at that station now. In retrospect, I could have probably been done by now, because I've been driving around now for about 25 minutes. And I've got about another 11 minutes to go to get to this next station. But it wanted me to go to an EV Go station, my car did, for another 50 minutes. And to charge there for 50 minutes, and I said no. So I'm gonna go to this station here. It's Atlanta Power or Atlanta Electric or something like that. So hopefully it's open. They got one CCS available according to PlugShare right now, so I'm gonna go there and try and charge there. Hopefully they got a 150 kilowatt charger ready to go, and we'll be on our way. So let's see. Adventures. All right, so here we are in Atlanta at this Kroger parking lot, and there's Electrify America stations, and this is one of the things you should consider when thinking about getting an electric vehicle. I just spent probably about a good 10-15 minutes going from charger to charger because the Electrify America chargers aren't working. So I tried this station over here. It would not read my credit card or my Electrify America card through the app. And these stations over here, I didn't try station 3 because I can't reach that to stretch the other side of my car. But I tried this station, wouldn't read my credit card or my Electrify America app. wallet, Electrify America card through my Apple Wallet. Wouldn't read that either through the phone. So it wouldn't take my credit card. I tried the chip, I tried the swipe, I tried the tap. I tried the same thing over on charger 1 over here, and would not work. And then I also tried this one. So, oh, look at that. Maximum power of the station is temporarily down due to service update. So, Electrify America reliability, I've just probably, let's see. So basically 2 to 3 out of these 4 chargers aren't working properly. They won't read credit card, won't read the app. I looked up in PlugShare, and they're saying the same things, that only station 1 and 2 are working. So it's been like that for a few weeks. No one's come out to repair it, and that's just kind of one of the things you run into. With a Tesla, you won't run into that. You know, you're going to get to supercharger and it's going to work. I went from the charge point station that I was at, where I was getting 90 kilowatts an hour, and I should have just stayed there, but I got impatient and I was like, I'm going to go find 150 so I can get back on 75 quicker. I ended up in Atlanta traffic. I ended up driving through downtown Atlanta. So I spent probably a good hour to an hour and a half looking for 150 kilowatt station, because the one that I was trying to navigate to was in the opposite direction, and I didn't realize it until I was already in Atlanta. So I was going north, which was the right direction I needed to go, but I was trying to navigate to a charger that I'd already passed. So I had to do a little bit of, crisis management, and I was going to go to this one charger, but it only had a 60 kilowatt max. So I found this Electrify America charging station, and finally got plugged into one that's giving me some decent juice. So I'll sit here and charge, go use the restroom, maybe get a snack, and then we'll be back on the road, hopefully, and won't run into another problem like this. All right, got me a little sandwich and some Cheez-Its. Heading back to the car. Probably been in there for about 15 minutes. We'll see where we're at on the charge. Got a nice Volkswagen ID4 charger next to me. So, look at that little thing. Zip around Atlanta traffic in there, huh? See how good your skills are. Alright, let's see where we're at here. Looks like she got that other station to work, so that's good. She seemed like a pro though. She's slaying right in there. Didn't even try the other stations. She's got the pro-ness. Let's see where we're at. Alright, we're up to 71%. We are pulling 62 kilowatts right now, so I'll charge it to 80% and then be on my way. We'll see what the nav says the next station is, because I have no clue. American Jedi here. I figured while I was driving, I just got done eating a mouthful of these big sunflower seeds, zesty ranch. I usually go with David's. You can find those at any gas station, but I went to Walmart and all I could find were these bigs, and I'm really disappointed because I bought 2 bags. I figured, how different could they be? Seasoning's not on point. Quick review for the big sunflower seeds. And the seeds are harder to separate from the kernels. They're smaller than the David's. I'm really surprised that there could be such a difference in sunflower seeds, but yeah. If you're road tripping, stick with what you know. Go David's. Sunflower seeds. Not paid for. There it is. Welcome to Tennessee. Woo. Now let's see if Google welcomes us to Tennessee. You gonna welcome me, Google? Oh, thank you, Google. That's so nice of you. So nice of you. I'm so happy I'm out of Georgia. Gosh, nothing against the state of Georgia. Nothing against the state of Georgia, right? Georgia's a beautiful state, but I just hate driving through that state. I don't know why, but Atlanta just kills the whole trip for me. Killed the whole trip for me this time too. I was like, man, I was driving through downtown, like going down little streets, getting cut off, people making their own lanes, you know. I'm just trying to survive, trying to find a charging station until I finally find one in a little village, a little Kroger, Ansville Village. And yeah, I should have been more patient and just stuck with the 90 kilowatts of charging I was getting and be grateful for that. I was like, oh, I'm only getting 90 kilowatts. I want to go somewhere, get 150 and save myself like 15-20 minutes. 2 hours later, yeah, that was no fun. So anyways, in Tennessee now, and we shall continue the ride. Tennessee, Walmart Supercenter. I'm charging up. Pretty stoked because everything worked for the first time. Getting 118 right now so far. Hopefully that kicks up to 150. Though I'm not complaining about after the Atlanta debacle. Got an ID4 right next to me. And what else we got? Another ID4. And then there's a Tesla down there. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna walk in Walmart, take a pee, grab a couple bottles of water, refill my cooler, and get on the road again. Here we are, stop number 5. We are right outside of Knoxville, Tennessee at the Walmart. Electrify America. I'm pretty happy because it worked again. So first try. Right now we're getting 91 kilowatts, but it just started charging, so it's ramping up. I don't know if it's going to get up to 150 with it already being up 40% or not, but yeah, gonna go outside, pee, maybe get some water. And no, I got water last time. Go inside and pee, and then yeah, come back out, see where we're at, and then got one more stop, possibly 2 more stops. I think I might have to stop twice in Kentucky, so this will be my last stop in Tennessee before I cross the border. And then yeah, we're gonna show you here shortly what charger speeds we're getting and what the car is saying, Google Maps in the car is saying versus what PlugShare is saying. See which one we're gonna do, which one's better. All right, just outside of Knoxville, just got back from my pee break inside Walmart. They're about to close here in about 15 minutes, so I got my car charging. It looks like I have enough to get to the next stop already. I was gonna try and make it all the way to Lexington from Knoxville, but that's about 190 miles, roughly. That's just outside of Lexington, just outside of Knoxville, that I need to get to. And my car is at 65% right now, and I would need to charge it to 100%. And right now, it just doesn't make sense. It's 73 kilowatts, and it's going to drop down even more once I get to like 90, 80. So it wouldn't make sense. So it'll just make more sense to jump to the next station, go down the road about 80 miles, down after just passing the border in Kentucky, to another station in Kentucky, and hitting that up, charging up for a little bit, and then hitting the one in Lexington, right outside of Lexington, I think in Georgetown, Kentucky. So that's what I'm going to do, and it is currently 10:47 at night. I can feel the caffeine jitters kicking in. My eyelids are like, woo! So I'm definitely tired. I've been driving now for about, 7:30 in the morning, 7:30 at night, 12 hours. Add 3 hours. I've been driving for 15 hours. So, well, you know, with stops and everything, but I've been at it for 15 hours. And if I had been driving straight through, if I'd been in a gas car, I'd probably be there by now. But I got roughly about 3.5 more hours, so it's fair with charging. You know, each charging stop taking me about 30 minutes. And then Atlanta took me about 3 hours out of my way, 2 hours of traffic, and then another half hour of charging, and another like half hour to 45 minutes to find the station because I was impatient. So that's my fault. That's my bad on that. I'll eat that hour on my own. But the 2 hour traffic in Atlanta, yeah, that was my fault too, because I got there at the wrong time. But we'll keep trucking. We'll keep chucking along, and we'll get there eventually. Super Center. There's one that's just out of my range. It's 190 miles, which if I charged to 100%, I would be able to get there. But the time that it would take to charge to 100%, it's just not worth it. So it's just smarter for me just to go on down the road a little bit. I think it's only like 50 or 60 miles. Yeah, so it looks like I'm going to be 24% on arrival, so I could leave now. And this is in Williamsburg, Kentucky. And yeah, so I'll get there in an hour and 12 minutes, 74 miles. And then I can plot to the next charging station, which will be in, open up the PlugShare app again, go back, option 4. The next charging center will be in Osborne, Georgetown, Kentucky. Osborne Way, Georgetown, Kentucky. So that one, let's see if I try to navigate to it right now. 190 miles, so I'll be a negative 32%. So I need to be 100% to get there at 75 miles an hour, basically, is my calculation. So that's right outside Lexington, but I need to stop right around here. If I go down the road here, and then I can jump up there. So that's the plan, Stan. All right. So I'm trying to think what else is going on. Sorry, ears itchy. Been hey, we're in Kentucky. Almost there. My car's LTE is lost connection, denoted by this flashing SOS symbol. First time I've seen that. Must be because I'm going through the Smoky Mountains. But it's weird because my phone has full LTE signal right now. Or I don't know if it's full, but it does have LTE signal right now. But the car's does not. It's completely out. So hopefully it'll pick back up once we get back down off this mountain. But we're in Kentucky. It's 12:14, going on hour 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, hour 17. Yay! All right, here we are in Williamsburg, Kentucky. It's 12:30 at night. I've been driving for about 17 hours since 7:30 this morning. Yeah. So there's Walmart, Super Center, Williamsburg, Kentucky. Not too sketchy. Not too sketchy. Pretty nice area. You know, we got some people down over here. I don't know what they're doing. I think everybody in the parking lot probably works here. So, you know, hey, we're good. We're good. Got a full charge going on here. 111 kilowatts. We're at a 39% state of charge. The card reader wouldn't work for my phone. I'm sure this works for the payment, but I wanted to get my 29 cents per, well, this one's per minute. So usually they're per kilowatt. Well, anyways, so I get my reduced fee because I got the charging point, or charge point, Electrify America charge plan. And I'm trying to get enough to get to, let's see here. What is the name of that town? Lexington, I think. Yes, Lexington. Trying to get enough to get to Lexington, so just wait until this turns green, and then tells me I'm going to get it there with enough charge. Let's see, what's the range? 103 miles. We've got a 100-mile range right now. You know, usually I knock about 20 miles off of that, because I find even the car's range assistant, you'll get a couple different range. You'll get the range from Google Maps. You'll get the range assistant range, which, like, look, right now it's 100 miles. And then this is telling me my projected range is 95, which when you're on the highway going, it's nowhere near that. It gives you it's ridiculously conservative, let's just say that. So yeah, let me turn this light on. Blah. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm speaking so many times, but I'm tired. Let me think about my words before I say them. You do get 3 different ranges. You get the range from Google Maps, you get the range from your main screen up here, and then you have the range from the range assistant. The Google Maps range is the most accurate. The range from your display, from your center display, or not your center display, but your speedometer display, whatever you want to call this, your steering wheel display, is the second accurate. The range assistant, oddly enough, the one that's supposed to be the most accurate, you know, like when it's supposed to give you like instant range, because like it changes based on your climate, changes based on your speed, all that stuff like that, your driving style, whatever. Oddly, that one is the least accurate. So just a little tip for you Polestar owners out there: don't rely on that range assistant, because it's going to be way too conservative. You're going to have like 120 miles left up here, and it's going to tell you can go 70 miles. You're like, come on, dude. What I've been seeing for this trip, going 75, if I knock about 20 miles off of whatever this is saying here. So like right now, I think I'd be able to go 90 miles pretty easily going 75, you know. Just knock 20 miles off of that and it should be good to go. And right now we're ramping down. We're at 45%, so it looks like kilowatts starting to ramp down to 100 kilowatts. So it looks like you only get that 150% or 150 kilowatts speed when you're really low. So once you get up to 45, 50, it drops down into the 90s and then the 70s and then the 60s. And so, but yeah, ride that charging curve. I didn't do a very good job of it. This is my first road trip in this car, so I didn't do the best job. Could have done a lot better. But I'm trying to figure out what stations to hit, how to maximize my range and my speed and efficiency. And there were a few stations that this car was trying to take me to that, like, it took me to this charge point station. There's a level 3 charge point station, but their level 3 is only like 90 kilowatts max. So didn't work for me, and I panicked and I ended up wasting 2 hours because I was looking for another station. But anyways, fun times, part of the travel. Starting to feel a little fatigued. You know, 17 hours of driving. Paying attention, you know. It's like a full-time job. But yeah, we'll get this Road Warrior Mad Max shit done. We'll get it done. We will get there tonight. I am not stopping, because if I stop and sleep at a hotel, that totally negates all of the savings that I got from traveling electric. I mean, I've paid like maybe $50 to travel like 800 miles. So that's pretty damn good. I'll break it down for you at the end once I get to Cincinnati. I've been keeping track of all my charges, so that I'll break that down at the end of the trip in Cincinnati, and I will spare you and not do my trip back down to Florida. I'm trying to get all the good content on the way up, because I don't know why, but the ride back down to Florida seems to be worse, seems to be harder for some reason. Every time that I've driven down to Florida, I've always hated it, but driving up to Ohio, never had an issue, because like I feel like once I get to Kentucky, like, or actually once I get to Tennessee, I feel like I wake up and I'm like, woo, and I'm like, phew. And then I feel like next thing I know, I'm in Cincinnati. Whereas if I'm going down to Florida, you know, you go through Kentucky, you go through Tennessee pretty quick, and then you get to Georgia, and Georgia takes a while. And you have to really watch your speed in Georgia because there are really sticklers out there about speeding. And you really have to plan your trip around Atlanta, or else you get stuck in Atlanta traffic like I did today. And then you finally get to Florida, and then Florida's huge too, and you're like, oh my god, this takes forever. Why? You're like in Florida, you're driving for like 5 hours in Florida, whereas like Tennessee, you're through Tennessee in a couple hours, you're through Kentucky in a couple hours, you know? So I feel like it's better to just go north. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm like brain happy right now. I'm just slap happy. But yeah, I like going north way better than going south in the Florida to Ohio trip. So, well, I think that's all I got to say. If I was going to do this a lot, I would have bought a Model Y, I think, a Tesla Model Y. Maybe in a few years, things will even out between Tesla and other car manufacturers. But for now, the Electrify America network, I just don't feel like there's enough stations to really ride that charging curve as efficiently as possible. And this whole trip was along I-75 between Florida and Ohio. So I've been on I-75 the whole time. And there's plenty of Electrify America stations. That's not the problem. I mean, to make the trip, there's plenty of stations to make the trip, but there's not enough stations to be able to pick and choose where you're going to stop, and depending on what charge you left at and where you're leaving from, obviously, how to ride that, 10 to 80% charging curve most efficiently. So like this station, for example, was only an hour from my last station, but I had to stop here to make it to Lexington, because I would have had to charge at my last station 100% to make it to Lexington, and that would have taken forever. It takes, from 90 to 100% takes like another 30, 45 minutes because the charging speed ramps down quite significantly. But in a Tesla, I know I probably would have already been there in a Tesla, just because they have the way more stations, and I could have ridden the charging curve a lot more efficiently. Whereas with Electrify America, I don't have as many chances to stop. So even though I'm using the PlugShare app, I'm using the Google Maps in my car. So I've got a couple resources at least, but I don't have as many available stops as Teslas do. So Teslas have a lot more stops to plan their route, and they can ride that charging curve a lot better. And I think the Tesla navigation does better than even Google Maps. Google Maps is good, but I think the Tesla navigation with the built-in charging station recommendations is superior to Google Maps built-in charging station recommendations. So I'm going to go into my settings here, see if I can't change my, let's see, AV payment filters, common in the United States. Let's see here. Electrify America? What does that do? I don't know, but I just checked it. I don't know if that's going to change anything. I just went into settings here, and so if I go back down, this little gear button, I went into settings, and I went into EV payment filters, and I checked Electrify America. So they got EVgo, ChargePoint. I've heard of Blink, I think. I haven't heard of Volta. And then you got Supercharger, non-Teslas. So I'll check that too. But I don't know what that does. It just says payment. So I don't know if that's going to prioritize those chargers or not. I wish I could tell the car, like, hey, I only want to stop at Electrify America charging stations, or Tesla charging stations that I can charge at. So it'll be nice when Tesla opens up their network, and then Tesla will have lost their advantage, really. But if I had to do it all over again in this moment, and I was going to be making this trip a lot more often, which I don't plan on doing, but had had a need to go back and forth to Ohio from Florida, I definitely would have got a Tesla Model Y. Just to let you all know. See, I'm not a Tesla hater. I don't know if anyone claimed that I was. There was one guy that was like, oh, you hating on Tesla. Blah. I'm like, no, I'm not hating on Tesla. They're apples and oranges. The Polestar and the Tesla, they're two different breeds of cars. You know, you can compare them. You can compare the Model 3. You can compare the Polestar 2. Yeah, that's great. But as far as the charging network, totally different. Yes, Tesla is superior in their charging network by far. By far, they're way more reliable. There's more of them. They're faster. They charge faster. The Teslas charge faster. You know, they charge like 250 kilowatts, and they're like, you know, you're there 15 minutes instead of 30. Boom, boom, you're gone. So definitely, yeah. If I didn't have a home charger, and you know, I really stick in my bubble in Tampa though. I might go back and forth. I might go to St. Augustine or Orlando. I would like to take a trip down to Key West. I haven't been to the Keys yet. Not really nowhere else I really want to go in Florida. Maybe Destin. That's about it. Those 4 locations: Destin, Orlando, Key West, St. Augustine, Tampa. That's pretty much the only places I want to go to. And Tampa's got Clearwater, St. Petersburg. So we got a couple destinations where I'm at, but yeah, I'm not really trying to go on many road trips, long road trips, because I'm old and I just get tired quick. You know, I'm surprised that I've been doing so well on this road trip. I can't believe I've been driving 17 hours now, and because usually, like, sometimes when I drive to St. Petersburg, I'm like, oh my god, it's taking forever, and I'm like falling asleep, and it's only like without traffic, about 50 minutes from my house. And I remember my family was out, and I was driving out to Clearwater. Was it Clearwater? Yeah, we were driving out to Clearwater, and I was falling asleep, and I just, like, I don't know what it is, like that first, sometimes I just, you know, with my meds and stuff like that, I just can't hack it. But for some reason, this trip, no problem. I've been like Road Warrior Mad Max in it, so I'm digging that. And I've said so like 1,000 times. I apologize, but I just wanted to get that out there. If you're gonna road trip a lot, Tesla right now, anyways. Currently, April 13th, it is now, 2023. If you're gonna road trip a lot and you plan on going back and forth across the country or leaving your bubble, you know, 4 hours or more, roughly, over 4 hours. If you're doing that a lot, get a Tesla. You know, yeah, the build quality is not as good. Teslas have their issues, definitely, but as far as a true EV and the speed of charging and the reliability of their network, they can't be beat. Sorry, they can't be beat. I have a Polestar 2, and I'm saying that Tesla just can't be beat in the road trip department and the charging department. They can't be beat. Well, I'm up to 150 miles, so it looks like I'll get there at 11%. I think I can leave. Yay! Let's get going. Oh, and I'll tell you another thing about them Teslas. Their chargers are way freaking lighter. What the hell, Electrify America? $2 billion to build, from the government, for Dieselgate, to build electric chargers, and the best that we can come up with are these CCS. I know the cars already had them, but we could have forced cars to make a different charging plug, because those things are giant and heavy, and the cables aren't very malleable. So like, if you don't park just right within like 2 feet of them, yeah, right, I tried to park on where it was in the back. The cable was in the back, but it was on the right hand side instead of the left hand side where my port is. I tried to drag it over the back of my car and plug it in, and I'm like trying to bend it. Nope, not working. And I was right up on that pump too. It was probably like maybe a 4 to 5 foot distance. Not working. Nope, not unless you're right next to the damn thing. you can't get that plug in. The CCS plug, that thing is so giant and like ungodly. And the Tesla plug's like this big. Big. So easy. So convenient. Damn. Should I buy a Tesla Model Y? Damn. I don't know. I felt like I did a lot of research. I never drove the Model Y. I sat in it and I never drove it. I sat in it in the showroom. But I did drive the Model 3 and I was not impressed with the build quality. So that's the main reason why I got the Polestar 2, was the build quality. And I don't regret it actually, because I don't really plan on doing road trips. But you know what sucks is if I do plan on doing a lot of road trips, I'm going to regret my decision. I'm going to regret my decision if I do plan on doing a lot of road trips. If I change my mind and I'm like, oh, I want to do a lot of road trips now, then I'm going to be like, damn, I should have got the Model Y. Because I wish I had the Model Y for this road trip, I'll tell you that. Because these Electrify America stations, there's just not enough of them. So, anyways, those are my 2 cents. Tesla Model Y for long road trips. American Jedi signing out for now. Got about another hour and a half to the next stop. The final stop before Cincinnati. So I got have about 25% battery when I get there. Got another 105 miles to go. I'll charge there for about 15 minutes and then I'll be home. Yeah, so kind of a bummer. The car's navigation, or I guess not technically the car's navigation, but Google Maps in the car was trying to route me to some Rivian waypoint charger, and it took me to a charge point charger in Atlanta. I think there's a way that I can go into settings and select only Electrify America chargers, because that's pretty much what I want to do. Because charge point charger in Atlanta was slow. It was like 90 kilowatts max, and it was not, which isn't 90 kilowatts isn't the slowest in the world, but it's not 150. And I got impatient and I did this little dance in Atlanta. It cost me a few hours, but it's fine. But I think I want to stick with Electrify America chargers from now on. So I gotta figure out, I think I can go into my car settings and select to prioritize that for charging stations, because when I just tried to do it now from this Walmart, I was just at an Electrify America, this Walmart here in Knoxville, and I used my PlugShare app to find it. I had already plotted a backup route in case this happened with Google Maps in my car, so I'd already had a plan B. But when I went to go to Cincinnati again for my car, and I'll add some video into this while I'm talking, if I can figure out how to edit. When I tried to go in there, it tried to take me to some Rivian waypoint charging station, and I'm like, don't know what that is. Ain't trying to go there and find out that I can't charge there, and that it's only for Rivians or something. Also, so what I did is I just launched my PlugShare app again. I found the next waypoint in my backup map, and now I'm heading there. 72 miles, got an hour and 8 minutes to go. I'm heading there, and then I'm gonna hit the next charging station in Georgetown, Kentucky. That'll be my last one, and then Cincinnati after that. So then my trip will be over. This long day shall be over. Yay. So correction, not a Tesla, that's the new Nissan Ariya or something. And see how where the charging port is in the front right? Yeah. No madness with the EVs with the charging ports. They're like on all four corners of the car. Doesn't make any sense. Somebody stop the madness, please. So they can, and why don't we have covers on charging stations like they do at gas stations? See how they have covers, in case it rains, they don't get wet while they're refilling their tank. Not us. No, fuck the EV people. Nope. Weirdos. Well, let me walk in this here Walmart. All right, you guys ready for this view? You guys ready for it? It's coming. All right, this is one of the most beautiful skyline views in all of the U.S. And you can't see me right now probably, But I've traveled many places in the U.S., many places in the world, and this still takes my breath away. Look at that. Cincinnati, Ohio. Look at that. Look at that view. Jeez. God, I love it every time I see it. Perfect city. Stupid truck in the way. It's just so beautiful. Yeah, speed up so I get that truck out of the way. So beautiful every time I see it, and now it's gone. Yep. Let's keep recording though. I'm gonna make sure that we got make sure I don't get pulled over for speeding, because they are a little more prickly here than they are in Florida on the speeding. They don't even like you going 10 over here. Florida, they don't even barely sneeze if you're going 20 over. You're like, eh. Depends on how they feel that day. They're like, I might pull you over, I might not. I routinely go 15 over because I know 20 is the questioning point of a lot of police won't pull you over at 20 over. But I know that's like kind of like the barrier. Now 25, they're going to get you. But 20 is kind of like, you know, they're scratching their head on whether or not they feel like coming out of their hiding hole. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, God, Cincinnati. I'll tell you what, Cincinnati just has one of the prettiest skylines. Sorry it's so bouncy on the bridge. Has one of the prettiest skylines. There's the Bengals practice stadium coming up. Great American Tower, which is a fairly recent addition. It's the tallest building in Cincinnati, built by Western Southern. We got the Duke Energy Center with Cincinnati on the side there. Yeah, she's a beautiful, beautiful city. I love Cincinnati. The people could be a little less conservative, you know, I think. I hate to bring politics into it, but what's this truck doing? Why are you hating me? You know, I'm Cincinnatian, you know, so I can talk about my peoples. But yeah, I think you know, we could use a little more progressivity, if that's even a word, in Cincinnati. But yeah, look at that. This building, man. This Great American Tower. Yeah. Get a load of that. Yes, sir. There's one little place, apartments. Yeah, everything's just all nice and small and compact. That's what I like about Cincinnati. It's all in like one little spot. You can walk the whole city in, you know, like 2 miles. You can walk it all. I mean, you know, not the whole city, but the main business district and where all the stadiums and stuff are at. You can pretty much walk most of it pretty quick. So, but we are in Cincinnati and we are getting close to our destination. I will show you what I've been getting for mileage, and in electric vehicles it is not you know, kilowatts per mile or whatever. It is actually number of kilowatts needed to travel 100 miles or something like that. Yeah, which I think I'm getting around 36 kilowatts per 100 miles. So pretty standard for my car. I got a 78 kilowatt battery, 75 usable, 36 times 2. Yep, sounds about right. I get 200 miles going, about 200 miles going 75 miles an hour, 200, 205, somewhere around there. Range is 250. Now if I drove, you know, 60, I might get, you know, 220, 230, but yeah, at 75 you're gonna get about, you know, you're gonna lose about 20 miles. So Anyways, I'll bring you back online when we are to our destination. All right. I'm almost at my destination, so I figured I'd go ahead and do this wrap-up Cincinnati trip video. Keeping it dark so that you can see the screens, but so for my trip, I drove for 15 hours and 37 minutes. I really drove for 20 hours, but I got lost in Atlanta, so that was fun. I've driven a total of 950 miles, and average speed of 61 miles an hour. I drove 75 the whole way on the highway, and my average is 36.2 kilowatts per 100 miles. So there we are. All right, people, thanks for watching my Cincinnati trip from Tampa Bay, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna try my best. Hopefully I edited it well. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the section. I am curious though, I would like to ask the Tesla owners watching this video what their consumptions are like on long road trips going 75 or over. So you know, I was going 75 and doing 80 sometimes to pass, but other than that, 75 mainly. So 75 on 75. But yeah, any Tesla owners out there, if you'd like to share your consumption, kilowatt hours per 100 miles, I'd be curious as to know if you get better or worse or same. Let me know. Thanks for watching, everyone. American Jedi out. Stay safe.